Hey, is this me? I can't tell.
Fear Factory is an interesting band, man. I mean, they're very heavy and they have their own style, for sure. And they work it to perfection sometimes. Um, I really like the album Mechanize, and I really like a lot of Fear Factory's older stuff. The Industrialist didn't really do it for me, hence why I didn't really review it, and at the time when it came out, I was kind of really busy too, and it just kind of faded away. And I actually kind of forgot about this band for a while, and then as this album, I'm like, fuck it, why not? I'll check it out. I actually did pick it up. It's just in my vehicle. I really like this album. I don't know what else to say. I think this album is just superb from start to fucking finish, man. I mean, it starts off with the track, let me pull it up here, Autonomous Combat, which is a very interesting track because it starts off with just very, that chunky, just heavy, just chopped off riffage and just that Fear Factory style, and then it just boom, right, hits you straight in the nuts, man. I love it. Anodize is an interesting song. I thought Burton's cleaner vocals sounded very interesting, and added kind of changed the atmosphere and the tone of that song, and I thought it was really cool. My favorite song on here, though, Say What You Want, Soul Hacker. Oh man, I love the simplicity of that song and just the sheer chaos of that song. I mean, I love that main riff. It's so simple. It's so incredible. Dino Cazares really kills it on this album in terms of just one of the thickest, chunkiest sounds that I think he's ever had. And just overall, really strong riffage on here. That is definitely the Fear Factory style. I love that song. I love the chorus. I think the chorus is super catchy. Burton, just crank that song up and listen to just the intensity in Burton's voice. It's really, really good. And I think overall, I mean, I think Burton C. Bell sounds very fantastic on this whole album. I think it's definitely vocally very interesting, very catchy. He sounds pissed off a lot of times. I think his clean vocals work, and definitely his clean vocals, there's no one out there that doesn't like him. They work on here. I always found that to be the weakest part of Fear Factory, to be completely honest with you. Sometimes I'm just like, why? But I can understand, I don't know. It makes them unique, and it adds a totally new dynamic to their sound, but I've always thought it's kind of the worst part of Fear Factory, but it's still not awful. Don't spin my words around. I still think it's very good. It's just, I love when Fear Factory is just completely insane and just completely just angry and chaotic, such as songs like Shocker, Edge Crusher, or Power Shifter, and the beginning of that song for the most part. Stuff like that, man. I really enjoy this album from start to finish, and I think the drums add a lot to this album as well. I think at times the drums are very solid. They don't sound so computerized like they did on the Industrialist, in my opinion. But at times I'm just, the riff starts and I'm like, this is what I'm thinking in my head that this drum beat's going to be, and it's completely different, or it adds a whole nother layer of chaos to it, or it just makes it that much heavier. I really enjoy the drums on here as well. I can't think of a bad thing to say about this album. I don't think there's a bad song on this album. I think the title track is definitely a very cool track. I really like the chorus and just the epic feeling of that chorus. Just really works. Overall, like I said, I think this is a solid album. The only thing I'm going to say about this album is that it plays it very safe. I mean, I can't throughout all 10 tracks on here, I can't name one instance in one song where I was like, Fear Factory's trying something new. This album completely plays it safe, and it takes what Fear Factory always has done and just executes it, and executes it up to what I think is a high level. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think sometimes you should experiment just a little bit, because you never know what'll work and what won't work. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's a Fear Factory album that plays very safe, and doesn't really bring anything new to the table. But some of the songs on here are definitely some songs that I think you should fucking jam. Just jam them. Turn them up. Crank it. Listen to it in whatever device you want. Wherever you want. For as long as you want. Fear Factory's Genexus to me gets an 8.5 out of 10. I think it is a solid piece of music that might make my top 20. If you're not a Fear Factory fan, or you lost interest in this band, I can